Warning: this show may and will contain adult language. Parental discretion is advised. Hello and welcome to Sundays with Dwayne. Let's begin today with the sick and twisted tale of Planned Parenthood. They've been harvesting fetal body parts. Yeah, I'm sure everyone's seen it now. An undercover video showing a top Planned Parenthood official casually discussing the shipment of aborted fetus body parts to research labs is fueling calls in Washington and state houses across the country for investigations, hearings, defunding of Planned Parenthood. Now, the video, which was shot last July, shows two undercover activists posing as employees from a biotech company. Now, they're having lunch with Deborah Nuke. Now, she is the Senior Director of Medical Research for Planned Parenthood. Now, in the video, they're chatting about which body parts are in demand. Of course, Planned Parenthood would like to deny everything on this video, but it's kind of hard to ignore one of their own, casually talking about harvesting human fetal tissue, hearts, livers, kidneys, that kind of thing, while munching on a salad and sipping wine. This woman is pure evil, and anyone associated with her is evil just as well. Now, Planned Parenthood is the brainchild of one Margaret Sanger, and as you know, Margaret Sanger is one of Hillary Clinton's heroes. Go figure. Planned Parenthood is nothing more than a part shop now, and anyone that supports it supports the butchering of human life. Planned Parenthood is breaking the law by selling aborted baby parts, organs, and stuff for profit. Planned Parenthood should be closed down permanently, but unfortunately, even if they were to shut it down tomorrow, the day after, it would be opened up again under a different name. And they would continue their good work of butchering babies for harvesting parts. I think they all should go straight to hell. To jail. Okay, I was right the first time. Speaking of people who should go to jail, John Lurch Kerry and our community organizer in chief Obama finally got their dream date with the Iranian butchers. And now they have a deal. It's all been worked out. So the Iranian lunatics can finally get a bomb. Of course, they say they're not going to get a bomb for 10 or 15 years. They're this close to it, okay? Now, these bastards were chanting death to America. And our ignorant leadership, John Kerry, Obama, I guess they figured it was kind of like a college hazing thing, you know?
Alrighty then.
It's sad. When the Iranians are chanting death to America, what do they mean? Death to America. What part of that does Lurch and Obama not understand? Oh, they understand it. They just don't give a shit. Now, here's what I think it means: death to America. Okay? It's out there. I hope this clears it up for all the misinformed people, especially up in Washington, D.C. It truly sounds to me at this point that God's special education crew are in charge in D.C. This is a slap in the face to the Israelis and to all of us.
Bogus.
But that's our community organizer in chief for you. He's all about talking to our enemies and screwing our allies. He's proved it time and again with Israel and America. I'm surprised they didn't offer Obamacare to the Iranians. Maybe I shouldn't say that, they might do it. Now, last week I broached something that I don't really like to talk about, and that's religion. But talking to someone this past week about this Iranian deal, I said, if you read Revelations, in the end times, it talks about the church on the seven hills falling. I can't quote chapter and verse, but that's essentially the gist of it. All this time, I was thinking that it was the Roman Catholic Church because the Vatican, Rome, sits on seven hills. This person pointed out to me that there's another church, supposed religion, that sits on seven hills. Mecca, over in Saudi Arabia. And I started thinking about it. The Iranians hate the Arabs. There's a complete different sect of Islam there, okay? So instead of bombing Israel, what if the Iranians decided to bomb Mecca? Don't think it would happen? Follow me on this. They want the 12th Imam to show up. Now, in Islam, the 12th Imam is well, I'll just put it right out. In our religion, Christianity, he's referred to as the Antichrist. What better way to bring about the Antichrist than to blow up Mecca and then force the world to divide up Jerusalem, either in two or three parts, okay? Because you have Islam, Judaism, and Christianity all claiming Israel, most definitely Jerusalem, as its birthplace. So, what would it be? The United Nations will divide up Israel or just Jerusalem in two or three parts. You have your Muslim, your Jewish, and your Christian area if they divide it up in three, or the Muslim and Jewish part. I started thinking about that, and it's like, yeah, that really does make more sense than destroying Israel. They wouldn't destroy Jerusalem. Now, they may go after Tel Aviv or someplace, but they would run the risk also of destroying Jerusalem, and I don't think they want to do that. Now, as far as destroying America, oh yeah, you give them an opportunity, they will. They hate us. The people hate us. Something to think about. Anyway, moving right along. We talked about this a little bit last week as debacle with the Stars and Bars. This past Wednesday, the Atlanta, Georgia chapter of the NAACP, which is a racist organization, okay? Let's just get it out there. It's racist. They kind of found themselves being compared to the Taliban and ISIS because they're calling for the destruction of that big sculpture on Stone Mountain. You know, the three Confederate soldiers, the general or whatever. Now, I've been there. It is very impressive. There was a lot of work involved there. And the NAACP wants to destroy it. They want to sandblast it off. Now, there are people that are literally calling this an imitation of the Taliban because the Taliban and ISIS both are actually going and destroying religious artifacts, artwork, things of that nature all over the Middle East. And for the NAACP to demand the eradication of that Stone Mountain carving, they're no better than the Taliban or the ISIS or even the Nazis because the Nazis did that. They went through and took thousands and thousands of pieces of artwork, and it was either destroyed or it just flat out disappeared. And that was priceless art. I'm thinking maybe we should start calling the NAACP the American Taliban. And on the same vein of the Confederate flag, Leonard Skinner seems to be the latest band to jump off the Confederate flag bandwagon. Now, for 30 years, this band that I love me some Skinner, okay? They have used this large Confederate flag backdrop for their shows. But my have times changed. Skinnerd, which actually has only one original member left, and it's Gary Rosington, uh, they've never really been politically correct before. But now, all of a sudden, Gary Rosington's becoming politically correct. He went on CNN and basically he he said that he didn't want to offend anybody, so they wouldn't use the Confederate flag as a backdrop anymore. And on their website, their merch that has all the Confederate flag merchandise and stuff on the website, it's all gone. It's been scrubbed. Now, there are other groups that have used the Confederate flag over time to, you know, well, Charlie Daniels, Guns N' Roses, Pantera, Kid Rock. Oh, they're giving Kid Rock hell right now. And he's basically told him to kiss his ass. He's not going to bend. Good for him. Now, Taro Ono Lennon, Sean Lennon, John Lennon's son, Yoko Ono's son, he's been seen wearing a Confederate flag T-shirt. RuPaul has wore a Confederate flag dress. Hmm, that's a whole different subject for a different time, let me tell you. Look, rock and roll rebels have used the Confederate battle flag, the stars and bars, for years to prove their rebel roots. But times are changing. You know, this whole flag thing has just pissed me off because it's a piece of cloth. It's probably even made in China now. It doesn't mean anything. It's a flag, and it's not going to hurt you. Well, not unless someone with a flagpole with a flag on it comes and hits you over the head with it. Then it might hurt a little bit. Now, Skinner's got a new album coming out, Last of a Dying Breed. Yeah, how ironic. They're going to start a nationwide tour September 21st. There's already outrage in the Twitterverse, Facebook, people who've been longtime fans who are pissed off over this now and said that because of this, they may never see Skinner again. They'll never buy another ticket. Some people are actually calling the band fake because they're using the name Leonard Skinner, but it's not even the real band. They just own the rights to the name. And I hate to say it, but I agree. Like I said, I love Skinner. But unless they recant their position on this, I may never listen to their music again. In fact, I may just flush it down the toilet. Okay, we're going to take a quick pause for the cause. We will be right back.
This portion of our program is brought to you by the following sponsor.
Let's face it, generic toilet paper is all the same.
It's the bottom of the barrel rejects that the big toilet paper companies throw away. Well, there is an alternative to those boring toilet paper rolls you see in your local grocery store. While some claim to be top notch and better values, we just call ourselves Pretty Good. Pretty Good Industries presents our new Pretty Good toilet paper. Try it and see if your family says, "Hey Mom, that's pretty good." Take our Pretty Good soft and absorbent toilet paper. It's perfect for your family. "Gee, honey, this toilet paper is pretty good." "Thanks, baby. I opened the package and put one on the roller. It's that simple." "What's this brown stuff?" "That's Pretty Good filler. It's made of mostly recycled Christmas wrapping paper, some leftover soiled diapers, and 40 grit sandpaper." "That's pretty good." So next time you're in your grocer's paper aisle, look for Pretty Good toilet paper. Ask for it by name. Pretty Good toilet paper. Another life-altering product from Consolidated Cybernetics Corporation of America, CCCOA, Buzzard Bait, Kentucky.
And we're back. Now, this past Thursday morning, we saw yet another senseless shooting at two different military recruiting posts in Chattanooga, Tennessee. 4 Marines dead, 2 others wounded, but luckily the shooter was killed as well. The shooter was named Mohammed Yosef Abdulaziz. Imagine that. Who names their kids this shit, okay? Anyway, he was born in Kuwait, but had lived in the United States for a very, very long time. Now, apparently, several months ago, he went to Jordan for like 9 months or something. Probably got radicalized. Anyway, U.S. Attorney Bill Killian said that officials are going to treat this attack as an act of domestic terrorism. It's about time they actually do something like that. But FBI Special Agent in charge, Ed Reinhold, said authorities were still investigating the motive. Motive? He's a freaking muzzy with jihad on his mind. That's the motive. Anyway, it's time to rearm our military on the bases and other facilities. Bill Clinton, back during his presidency, took away the arms from the troops on the bases and the recruiting facilities and made them sitting ducks. And these Muslim loonfish are wanting to wage jihad on America. Who do they go after? They go after the military. But here's the real question. Will the assholes that claim that Dylan Roof represented the entirety of white Southerners when he was waving his little Confederate flag before he killed 9 people in that South Carolina church, are they going to now claim that Muhammad Yosef Abdulaziz represents no one but himself? That he was a lone wolf? Bullshit. This cretin represents the entirety of Islam and their jihad against the infidels. And I hate to say it like this, but I'm going to. It's time to ban Islam in America. Boot out this kind of gutter trash from our country. That's one way to put a stop to this shit. But of course, I'm going to be labeled a racist, a hater, an Islamophobe. Okay, let's settle this. Islam is not a race. It is not even a religion. It is a theocracy. So, goose egg there. As far as being a hater, I don't hate anyone. I just don't trust anyone from the Middle East who comes here, wants to push Sharia law on my country, and kill us. And as far as being as an Islamophobe, I'm not afraid of the rag-headed bastards. Come on. I'll show you who can take care of you. I'm not afraid of them. So, 0, 0, 0. Goose eggs. I am 0 for 3 on any claims.
Of course, you know this means war.
Now, I want you to think about this. I want you to let this sink in, okay? Because I'm going to reiterate here. The media, the leftist loonfish, this regime, they're all going to tell you that this Muslim gunman was a lone wolf, okay? That he doesn't represent his supposed religion. And then they're going to turn around and tell you that Kook Burger white kid represents the entirety of Southern white America because he waved the Confederate flag. By whose logic are we to believe that one's a lone wolf and the other one isn't? Both are either one or the other. You can't have it both ways here. Unless, of course, you happen to be a progressive liberal who believes in a certain propaganda that's being manufactured on a daily basis by the progressives here in America. You know, the communists, the Nazis probably too. And the media are their lapdogs, okay? They are their willing, loyal press agents. How sad it is to be an American today when you've got a bunch of idiots in the mainstream media pushing this garbage and you got a bunch of idiots believing it. So, anyway, I'm going to wrap this up in a little nutshell here. If we're going to get rid of flags because they represent hate, then we need to get rid of Islam because it represents hate too, and death to America, and death to Israel. And finally, a jury on Thursday convicted 27-year-old James Holmes of murder and other charges. You know, he's the guy that went in that Colorado movie theater during the Dark Knight Rises back in 2012. Killed 12 people, hurt dozens of others. Yeah, they found him guilty. All charges. Now, this coming Wednesday, the penalty phase of the trial begins, and it's probably going to take about a month. He's either going to get life in prison without possibility of parole or the death penalty. I'm actually pushing for death here. I hope this weasel, who apparently converted to Islam while he's been in jail, I hope he burns in hell for what he has done. And the very fact that he converted, he probably will. But that's just me. All right. I'm going to cut it short. I'm pissed off. And I need to cool down. So you guys have a great week. And we'll see you again next week. Same time, same channel. Later.